What's going on, guys? It's Coach D back with another sports review. And man, I'm a little late for my reaction. I apologize, guys. But man, that was an amazing game. I was so stressed out watching that game. My stomach was hurting. My head was hurting because I'm like, this game, if Dallas would have went up 3-1, that really would have been it for the Clippers. But even if you're just a basketball fan, that game was amazing. Like the shot making, just that was prime basketball game. I feel like, in my opinion, an all-time classic playoff basketball game for sure. And it's very interesting now, okay, because the Clippers without Kawhi are now 2-0 in this series. And with Kawhi, they've obviously lost two. And that's no disrespect to Kawhi. He's not even close to 100%, in my opinion. I don't even think he's at 75%. And because of that, when we try to incorporate him in the offense or try to, in game two, really run the offense through him, he had the most shots on our team. Because he's unhealthy and he's not even being able to be 75% of himself, it really hurt the Clippers. But in these games, you can see without him, it just opens up the door for James Harden and Paul George and the other guys to just have, increased responsibility. And they know that, and they just play with the green light. And it's really working out really well. But we want to salute Ty Lue. This was an excellent coach game in game four. I don't know why it takes Ty Lue 2 losses to make adjustments and listen to me. But, hey, I'll take it. I just want to win this series. But remember, when I discussed why the Clippers suck this series on offense, what did I say? I said the corners, right? That's what you need to attack. Dallas is not, they're not guarding the corners. And T-Man said that after they had watched film this last practice before, game four, he said that, they noticed they aren't guarding them. So they just need to let it fly. And sure enough, T-Man had 11 points. I'm pretty sure he had 3 threes from the corner. Russell Westbrook had a 3 from the corner. Amir was attacking off of the corner. So what that means is that when he'd get the pass in the corner. If he didn't like the 3, he would just drive in and he hit this little midi over Luka. So they just did an excellent job at that. And, that was my main thing that we needed to do. And they did it very well. And then also it was the spacing. And I'm going to show you this play right here. One of my favorite plays from the game. The biggest thing with the spacing was you don't want to just be walking around the court. We saw Kawhi out of bounds. We saw Norman running across and then running back across. And you're just allowing them to sag in the paint and not guard you because you're not in position to catch the ball. But notice here with the spacing, everybody's going to be where they're supposed to be. And my favorite part of this is that I said, do not stick Russell Westbrook in the corner because they are not going to guard him. Every time we have had Russell Westbrook in the corner, they're not going to guard him. So if he takes it and makes it, great. But is that what we want? We want to run our offense through Russell Westbrook shooting wide open threes? No. And so what does Ty Lue do? He does the obvious adjustment. You either could do 2 things. One, put the ball in Russell Westbrook's hands so they're forced to guard him. And Russ struggled a little bit with that. We'll get into that a little later maybe. But what I love here, we're going to end up running Russ in pick and roll, which was just absolutely excellent because this is going to put him in the action, right? So you get the switch on to Luka, and then notice what's going to happen. Kyrie's not going to guard him and try to double team James Harden. And notice this. Look at the spacing. Norm is in the corner on the 3-point line where he's supposed to be. Paul George is on the 3-point line where he's supposed to be. Mason Plumlee can't shoot, so he's in the dunker spot like he's supposed to be. Everybody's where they're supposed to be. Russ is available, wide open for the pass. Imagine if Russ ran around to the opposite corner or something like that. James Harden would have had nowhere to go other than to swing it to PG, and then PG would have swung it to Russ, and it would have had, you know what I mean? This was excellent spacing. Nice little dump off right to Russ. And then notice what's going to happen. Mason Plumlee's in that dunker. Easy. And that is such great basketball. And that can happen, every single time that we decide to put Russ in this pick and roll action if they're going to give us the switch. Right? And so you even could have Russ on the other side of the dunker or wherever, but just don't stick him in the corner, right? I thought that was a really good adjustment from Ty Lue and great listening to me as far as attacking the corners. We had Terrence Mann in this game clapping in the corner, throughout this game. So that was really good, and we just need to keep that up. And as far as the Clippers, we're going to go to this next clip. Why the Clippers suck defensively, right? Remember what I said. I said poor defenders. But notice in this game, okay, Terrence Mann, he had 23 minutes in game 3. And then for this game, he had 35 minutes in game 4. Terrence Mann has been a revelation. His defense that he's had on Luka and Kyrie, we are just floating him around as our best defender. Whichever one of them is getting hot, we just put Terrence Mann on him, and sometimes it can cool them down. He's done an especially great job on Luka this series. And, like I said with Ty Lue, game 3 was way too much Amir Coffey, way too much Norman Powell guarding Kyrie. And now, once again, now we got Terrence minutes up to 30 minutes. Every time Terrence Mann gets 30 minutes, we end up winning. And a lot of it has to do with Kawhi being out. But at the same time, Terrence is the primary defender we need to have on Luka and Kyrie. And because you're not expecting so much from Terrence offensively, him defensively, and especially if you're going to play at this level, is very, very important. So we've been doing a really good job with that. I don't think we saw any Kyrie Norm minutes this game. And we did really well as well, like I said, with that, and then defending the pick and roll. And this is that play. It's not exactly what I was talking about, but this was what I was talking about. Remember when I said in the video the why the Clippers suck against the Mavs series defensively? It was because of the pick and roll and because they were able to get these easy lobs. But notice, first of all, we're going to have Terrence Mann running over this screen and not Amir Coffey or Norman Powell, right? And then also notice Mason Plumlee is going to end up staying with Daniel Gafford, and Russ is going to be the person that's going to come over and trap. Now, ideally, you would want this to come from the other side, but this is what I'm talking about. There's no lob threat here. If you guard it like this, guard pick and roll like this, it eliminates the lob threat. C. Mason just stays with him, and you have Russ or somebody else come over from the top and double team and trap Luka and make him pass that ball. Then you're going to have very, very fast rotations, right? Norm is going to go to Kyrie. James is going to come back around and go to whoever that is in the corner. And then you'll have Russ or Terrence Mann go to the other corner. And that is so much better than just letting them get easy lobs to Daniel Gafford and them because of the pick and roll. And this is going to lead to a contested look. He's getting Russ is getting in there, and it's going to lead to a contested miss. And this is excellent. This is what I want to see. Great adjustment from Ty Lue as far as guarding this pick and roll. And he didn't do it every single time all game, and they got some good switches and lobs, but this is so much better than what we were doing in game 3. So yeah, this game was amazing. I'm very happy. I'm sure Jason Kidd is going to come up with some more adjustments. This was like a must-win for the Clippers, and we did very, very well. James Harden and Paul George, this was like a legacy, type of game where, when you talk about these guys, depending on how the Clippers make this run and stuff like that, when you talk about these guys to your kids, you'll be like, hey, this is one of those games you could go turn on. So it was just excellent. And what I loved, making Luka work. Remember in my first video, I said, we got to make Luka feel like he work in Amazon warehouse in the summer. You know what I mean? We got to make him work, and we worked him this game. He looked like he was drenched at the end of the game because we're attacking him every possession on defense, trying to switch him on to Harden. And, so it was just really good. And on offense, having Terrence Mann just really, really try to, get into him every play. So through Kyrie heroics, they were able to make this a close game. But I think if the Clippers just continue playing this sharp and doing what we're supposed to do, I really like our chances. We got a big game 5 coming up. But, yeah, this is great. So you guys let me know what you thought of the game in the comments. Like and subscribe. And y'all stay blessed. It's Coach D. I'm on to the next one.